This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
It is a Storm Team 6 alert day. We're taking a live look right now at our RTV6 Weather Now camera. It's been a very hot day across central Indiana, and now the chances for rain and storms are increasing as we head into the evening. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Nicole Griffin, joined in the tracking center by Storm Team 6 meteorologist Kyle Mounts. Kyle, what are we looking at right now at this hour? Yeah, some areas still just dealing with the heat, but areas especially south and west of Indianapolis, that's where we've got some severe weather and a severe thunderstorm watch. That's going to run until 10 o'clock tonight. You can see it extends from around Lafayette through Hendricks County into Johnson County and then to the south and west right through Seymour and Bloomington. So let's take you on a tour here and show you where we have the warnings in effect, and we're going to get some more details on these, but they extend from around Spencer through the Crawfordsville area right now, and a lot of lightning with these storms. They're moving very slowly, so frequent lightning, heavy rainfall, some localized flooding issues that we're going to be watching out of these storms. That's in addition to possibly some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. With a few of these, Crawfordsville back through Veedersburg, you've got a severe thunderstorm warning here until 6:30, so about the next half hour or so. Then we work our way from Rockville through Brazil into Greencastle. You've got a severe thunderstorm warning until 6:15 this evening. Those storms, as they're tracking off to the south and east, again, very slowly, but could have some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts with them, moving into Spencer here at 6:10 and on to Worthington as we get a little closer to 6:30. Not severe, but some heavy lightning, some heavy rain and frequent lightning through Bloomington into Nashville and around Seymour as well. As we go through the next few hours, you'll see that complex of thunderstorms diving off to the south and west. We'll talk about what our Monday will bring in a few minutes. Kyle, thank you. After 20 years of service, the Hoosier State train line is making its final run through central and northern Indiana. RTV6's Cameron Riddle is live in downtown Indy, where passengers caught the train to Chicago one last time. Cameron.
Nicole, good evening. That's right. It is the end of the line for the Hoosier State Line. The Amtrak train is making its final run of service between Indianapolis and Chicago. And as that train pulls into the station one last time, it is a sad day for passengers. The Hoosier State Line has been operating 4 days a week since 1999 and is now being discontinued after the Indiana State Legislature decided to cut the train's funding of $3 million a year. Passengers who climbed on the train for one last time this morning say the train, losing the train that is a huge step backwards for Hoosiers, particularly those without bus service.
Indiana is really suffering a loss along the communities of the line, especially, Lafayette, Rensselaer, places that are, really small, don't have, necessarily good access to big cities without using I-65. It's just really disheartening to see the government not really care about these small cities.
Well, as the Hoosier State Line makes its last run down the tracks today, there is a new option to get around tomorrow, and it's called Our Bus. It'll begin picking up passengers right here on Washington Street between the City-County building and the Downtown Transit Center. It'll start taking people to Chicago tomorrow. Coming up tonight at 11, we will hear from passengers who came to Indy via train and are now going home with one less option. Live tonight in Indianapolis, I'm Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
Cameron, thank you. Tonight, a man is recovering after he was shot in Marion. Police say it all happened because he refused to give the suspect a cigarette. Marion police were called to the 1400 block of South Adams Street Friday night around 11:30 on reports of shots fired. Police say 21-year-old Delance Arlonzo Scaife shot a man after he refused to give him a cigarette. The victim was taken to the hospital in stable condition. Tonight, investigators need your help finding a missing 16-year-old girl. Valentina LaCava was last seen 10 days ago at her home in Greenwood. Her friends and family are pleading with the public to help bring her home. She is 5'1" and weighs 110 pounds. She has brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information about where she is tonight, contact the Johnson County Sheriff's Office. Something that happened today has never happened before in any U.S. administration. For the first time, an American president stepped into North Korea to meet with Kim Jong-un. Here's ABC's Tara Palmieri with all the details.
An historic moment at the demilitarized zone Sunday morning. President Trump walking from the South Korean side, Kim Jong-un from the north, the two leaders shaking hands across the border. Good to see you again, Kim said. Then a first for an American president, stepping into North Korea.
It's a great day for the world, and it's an honor for me to be here.
As the two walked into the so-called House of Freedom, chaos, a scramble to get American press inside. A dramatic visual that some say may be the president's greatest performance. That Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders is hoping it'll be more than just a photo op.
Now, what's going to happen tomorrow in the next day? He has weakened the State Department. If we're going to bring peace to this world, we need a strong State Department. We need to move forward diplomatically.
Another Democrat, Julian Castro, calling this impromptu meeting worrisome.
I am all for speaking with our adversaries, but what's happened here is that this president has raised the profile of a dictator like Kim Jong-un.
Despite the criticism, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie says this is just the way the president does diplomacy.
The bottom line is everything we've tried, as you know, George, under Republican and Democratic presidents over the last 30 years has not worked in North Korea. He's trying to make it a personal thing.
Following the public show, the two leaders met behind closed doors for about 40 minutes.
It's just an honor to be with you, and it was an honor that you asked me to step over that line, and I was proud to step over the line.
So far, no word on any progress toward dismantling North Korea's nuclear program, just the promise of more talks. Tara Palmieri, ABC News, Washington.
Twitter says accounts attacking Senator Kamala Harris's race during Thursday's Democratic debate were not automatic bots. A spokesperson said, quote, "We saw no coordinated use of automation during recent debates." Twitter confirmed it had suspended some accounts that were attacking Harris's race, but said those accounts were suspended for other rule violations. Harris was born in the U.S. to an Indian mother and a Jamaican father who were both immigrants. She has directly confronted critics who have questioned her Black heritage. Monday is July 1st, and that means new state laws will take effect, and one requires all emergency dispatchers in Indiana to complete training in telephone CPR. They will have 1 year to get it done. Indiana officials say at least 10% of the 2,400 dispatchers working in call centers have the training right now. Officials say it's vital in rural areas where first responders have longer trips to arrive on scene. The goal of telephone CPR is to save lives and assist the untrained caller to provide high-quality CPR. Starting tomorrow, deer hunters can register for the 2019 Deer Hunt Registry. It's a service provided by the Department of Natural Resources that allows hunters to register for deer hunting opportunities. Landowners, golf courses, parks, and farmers participating in the Community Hunter Access Program can use the registry to identify prospective hunters for their property. Driving to Louisville will cost you a little more starting tomorrow. RiverLink is raising the toll fee to cross the Ohio River about 2.5% starting July 1st. If you have a RiverLink account and transponder, the new rate for a passenger vehicle will be $2.10. That's up from $2.05. Those with transponders and prepaid accounts pay the lowest rates. Tolling is in place on the bridges connecting Indiana to Kentucky, including the Lewis and Clark Bridge, the I-65 Abraham Lincoln Bridge, and the I-65 Kennedy Bridge. We are just days away from 4th of July, and the Noblesville Fireworks Festival Planning Committee is having trouble finding enough volunteers. They are asking people to please consider donating a few hours to make the event successful. There are 3 different shifts they need filled for just a few hours throughout the day. The job mainly involves interacting with the community by running bounce house inflatables in the kids zone. We do have details on how you can volunteer on the RTV6 News app and the IndyChannel.com. Straight ahead on RTV6 News at 6, a warning tonight from the CDC about a parasite that can live for days in swimming pools. Plus, on a hot day like today, cooling off in the water is a must. How Indy Parks is taking steps to make sure you and your family are safe when hopping in the water. Kyle.
And some of us are cooling down with some thunderstorms that are moving through. New severe thunderstorm warnings now just west of Indianapolis. We'll talk about the impacts. You're watching RTV6 News at 6.
Is your kind of cure.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Texas authorities are searching for a convicted murderer on the run after he cut off his ankle monitor and then failed to appear for the end of his trial. Here's Stephanie Ramos with the details.
U.S. Marshals are asking for the public's help in finding this man, convicted murderer Rene Carrillo.
Anybody that is associated with him, we're going to be contacting them, and hopefully they can talk him in to coming back and facing what he has been sentenced with. And if he doesn't come back, we'll still be looking for him.
Carrillo attended the first 3 days of his murder trial last week, but was a no-show in court on Thursday.
His ankle monitor had been cut off and disregarded on the side of the road.
But despite his absence from court, the jury, after about 15 minutes of deliberations, convicted Carrillo, sentencing him to 99 years. The Dallas County District Attorney's Office says Carrillo can be seen in this surveillance video from October 2017 outside a strip club, walking up to a car, shooting and killing the driver and wounding the woman in the passenger seat. The incident all stemming from a fight inside the club. Some now questioning why the 25-year-old was free on bond while on trial for murder.
I did not set the bond in this case. The assigned judge at the time did, and it may very well have been appropriate. I'm not second-guessing that at all.
When captured, Carrillo will begin his life sentence and face additional felony charges for fleeing and skipping bail. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, Washington.
A major recall of fireworks made in Indiana just ahead of the 4th of July. Grandma's Fireworks is recalling thousands of units of it after it sold. An 8-year-old boy lost his hand in an accident. The boy and a 12-year-old were playing with a broken Talon rocket sold by Grandma's Fireworks when Ohio police say they lit the rocket and it exploded. Investigators later found the company was selling fireworks that contained more pyrotechnics than allowed by federal regulations. Grandma's Fireworks is based in Union County near the Ohio state line. A warning tonight from health officials as you plan your pool time this summer. The CDC is asking you to take precautions over reports that a fecal parasite transmitted via swimming pools is on the rise. The parasite is called crypto. It causes an illness that can leave healthy adults suffering from watery diarrhea for as long as 3 weeks. The effects can be worse for children, pregnant women, and those with compromised immune systems. Though it's almost never fatal, 1 death has been reported since 2009. We hope the previous story hasn't turned you off from diving into the pool. After all, on these hot days, swimming is a relief and it is also fun, but it can be hazardous if you don't play it safe. That is why Indy Parks is hosting free water safety classes this summer. The classes will take place from 12 to 3 p.m. every Sunday at Riverside Pool. For more information on how you can join in on this safe summer splash, call 317-327-7275. This story will create a lot of fireworks for people who like to go to concerts. You can get tickets for $25 or less to more than 30 different shows in the Indianapolis area during Live Nation's 4th of July Ticket Explosion event. Ticket sales start Monday at 10 a.m. You have until July 8th to cash in on the deal. The shows take place at major local venues like Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center, Farm Bureau Insurance Lawn at White River State Park, and the Old National Center. See a full list of participating shows and purchase tickets by visiting the Ticket Explosion website. It is 6:15. Let's get over to Kyle.
Yeah, and Nicole, we've got some Mother Nature's fireworks out there with some lightning and some rumbles of thunder. Eastern and northern portions of central Indiana, you're dry and quiet and largely going to stay that way. But you notice until 6:45 now, we have a severe thunderstorm warning that does extend just west of Indianapolis. And it's because of this very narrow green line that you see. Not a lot of rain with it, but it's what's called a gust front, and it could have some 60 to 70 mile per hour winds with it as it's about to move into the Lebanon area and also Danville there. So it's moving to the southeast around 45 miles per hour as we put the storm track on that in Brownsburg here in the next 15 minutes. Speedway, some gusty winds for you at 6:41. Still severe thunderstorms around the Greencastle and Brazil areas. Look at all the lightning associated with this as well and the very heavy rainfall, but could have some 60 mile per hour wind gusts, possibly some small hail in these. And then we've got thunderstorms around Bloomington. Lots of lightning. These are actually moving a little bit to the south and west right now. Not technically severe, but we got that lightning charged thunderstorm, so you just want to stay inside and allow these storms to move on off to the south and west. And they'll continue to do so this evening. TrueCast, as we go to 8 o'clock, you can see still it's western and southwestern parts of central Indiana dealing with the storms. Later tonight, though, we'll quiet things down once again. Can certainly tell where we've had the rain. That's where the cooler temperatures have taken over. We made it back into the 90s, though, in Indy. Still sitting at 90 degrees, even with some rain off to the south and west. 93 in Muncie, 86 degrees in Peru with a heat index of 88. Tonight into the upper 60s to around 70, so it is going to be a mild overnight, and really, again, things will quiet down. As we go into our Monday, we've got partly sunny to mostly cloudy skies here. We're not going to get rid of the heat and humidity. Temperatures will make their way quickly to around 80 degrees already by 11 o'clock in the morning. We'll get to the mid to upper 80s for those afternoon highs. So I think we're looking at probably the third day in a row of Indianapolis getting to that 90-degree mark, around 91 for the afternoon high, 92 in Columbus. The heat index, noon tomorrow, middle to upper 80s is what it's going to feel like. As we go into the afternoon and evening, those heat index values, middle 90s. Some areas may feel like the triple digits. It certainly did that earlier this afternoon in the Bloomington area. Then on Tuesday, we've got a dry start to the day with temperatures in the 70s. We head into the afternoon, and rain chances will flare up once again. So they do start to build here a little bit as we go to the middle of the upcoming week. 7-day planning forecast now as we put it all together, and there's about a 30 to 40% chance of showers and storms Tuesday and Wednesday. 4th of July, we bumped that rain chance up a little bit at 40%, and we're still going to have our afternoon highs upper 80s to right around 90 degrees. With all that humidity, heat index values will continue to be an issue. And just want to kind of keep that in mind as well as you're making your 4th of July plans. We go into the upcoming weekend. Next weekend, of course, it's never too early to look ahead to that. We've got highs in the 80s and rain chances continue.
80s and 90s all week. Gonna be a hot one.
Summer is here.
Summer is here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
right.
Kyle. Coming up on RTV6 News at 6, healthcare is getting more expensive, but just how much? We're breaking it down after the break.
Only at Zaxby's.
Healthcare is getting more expensive, and new numbers from AARP show exactly how much. It looked into how much nearly 100 specialty drugs cost. We're talking about treatments for things that affect older adults like cancer, rheumatoid arthritis, and pulmonary hypertension. They found on average treatment for just a year can cost nearly $80,000. That's more than what most households make a year, and it's 3 times more than what Medicare beneficiaries typically have. Everyone pays because tax dollars do cover some of the drugs through Medicare and Medicaid, but ultimately it's forcing people to decide between things like taking medicine or paying a bill.
The number one solution that we offer to people who are facing a high prescription drug price is to talk to their healthcare provider. A lot of times there's a less expensive alternative, potentially even a generic version of another drug that is used to treat the same condition, and hopefully you could see some savings there.
One more note here, many times companies that make specialty drugs and treatments have programs to make them more affordable. Appliances are expensive enough, and now the trade war is pushing up prices even more. Consumer Reports just came out with new rankings to help you find good, reliable appliances. It looked at more than 381,000 kitchen and laundry appliances people bought between 2008 and last year. Some brands you may not expect are at the top for reliability. Number 1 is Speed Queen. That's followed by Miele, IKEA, and LG. Consumer Report does warn, even though it found these brands are the most reliable, not every model they make is good, so you do want to look at the reviews before you buy them. Hiring Hoosiers is an RTV6 initiative looking to match you with jobs and career resources. The Indiana State Police Capitol Police Section is now accepting applications. Applications must be received via online submission by 11:59 on Wednesday, July 10th. Applications received after that deadline will not be accepted. Here are the basic requirements for a Capitol Police officer. You must be a United States citizen. You must be at least 21 years of age. You must meet a minimum vision standard of 20/50 in each eye. You must possess a valid driver's license, and you must be a high school graduate. The starting salary for a Capitol Police officer is just under $45,000 a year. And we'll be right back here on RTV6 News at 6 with a final check of your forecast.
Shade. Make more of what's yours.
Some very low and ominous looking clouds there in the Greencastle area. This is from our Weather Now camera on the DePauw University campus, and you can see that those are moving through. Some reports in Greencastle and also Park County of some wind damage there with some trees down. You can see the host of thunderstorm warnings that we have in effect just west and south of Indianapolis until about 7 o'clock this evening for those wind gusts that could exceed 60 miles per hour. You can see the very heavy rain, frequent lightning with those storms as well, pushing off to the south and west.
Thank you, Kyle, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here at 11. Have a great night.